This is your life, and it's ending 1 minute at a time.
Welcome to the Stop and Listen podcast. I'm your host, Jamie. How are you folks doing tonight? It is tonight, and it's Friday night. I'm going to get to work on editing this podcast, and I hope you guys, somebody enjoys it while drinking some coffee, because I will be having some coffee, and I'm going to go look at a car, an Explorer. It's hard to find a decent used vehicle. Like, there's ghost cars out there. Like, I went to would see dealerships. It was show to have a car for sale, and you go there and like, hey, I'd like to see this. I've been after a Toyota car, Toyota Camry. I'm mixing it up. I got a truck right now. Figured a nice Toyota will last me for a long, long time. I don't drive that much.
Boy, one day you've done it again.
I haven't driven a car for like 20 years, but I was gonna do it. Like, and I kept going to play and then. Online, that crap doesn't work. So I found an Explorer, and it might be worth buying. So I'm going to do that tomorrow after some much needed coffee and eggs. So Trump is doing podcasts now. Trump is going for a landslide. That's what he's going to try to do, and he needs to do. He just did an hour-long interview, 53 minutes, with Logan Paul. Right now, he's celebrating his birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Good timing. And it's live. Why don't they just let that man be beloved? He will bend over backwards to make compromises so everyone is as happy as possible so they like him. He could truly be a uniter if they would let him. But they're going to destroy the country before they allow us to unite. They must divide us. That's what they're doing to us. What's he saying?
Even better.
What's he saying?
There's nowhere else I'd rather be on my birthday. It's Flag Day, my birthday. Than right here with thousands of proud American patriots.
78.
The great
A spry
state
78.
of Florida.
I mean, I see what his life is like running around like.
Let me begin
just
by
sits there and
saying
just
to everyone
goes on
all
stage
across
and just
South
talks for
Florida
hours
who
at a
were
time. It's
affected by the recent
exhausting.
flooding. Our prayers are with you. That was rain like.
I mean, doesn't he have like backaches and
Floridians
shit?
are tough,
Like,
and we will pull through it and pull through
he
it.
just go
quickly.
like he just.
And I just
doesn't
want to
stop.
wish you all the best. We love you. God be with you. That's
He's got helpers. I
times.
mean, top of the line
Yes,
helpers. I mean, he's got
thank you.
billions of
I
dollars,
also
right?
want to thank Larry Snowden and.
So, okay.
Just saw him
So-
as your great speaker. He's not a singer, but he.
Okay, so one thing that was quite noticeable right here. We'll start here on the Logan Paul interview.
June 27th,
God-
hosted by
God
your
love
favorite
him.
television network, CNN.
Well, they gave me the option. They said, would you do it? And they didn't want to do it.
It's nice
They
and
didn't wanna
orange
do
there.
it.
You know, nice,
So they
nice
gave me
copper
everything.
tone.
Fake tap.
Look.
And
Look at the line. Look at
lots
the
of
line.
other people that were going
Listen.
to, were involved. On CNN,
It's like, psh.
they wanted it to be seated, which I didn't
God
like.
love
So
him.
we should stand, and I think we won that point. But
He-
I would have agreed.
He needs to be the uniter. I mean, this is just, they kind of just bullshit for the hour. I mean, talking about cultural stuff, and then Trump will weave in political stuff, just political attacks on Biden. I mean, he's learned. He's only attacking Biden. He's not attacking, I mean, he says the fake news, and I don't hear him say much about the swamp anymore. He said the swamp much lately? He hasn't said that. There's no way that they are going to allow Trump to tell the world anything about JFK. It's not going to happen. Like, either... There's no way. There's no way. Because there's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing we can do about it. I mean, it would take a long time to get to that point where you could try to battle that beast. But that may be something so out of control that it can't be contained. It's it's more or less independent of any one nation. I certainly assume so. That's what it sounds like. That's what the tales they tell. I mean, I did not get to this point. I watched most of the interview.
I've met with pilots like beautiful Tom Cruise, but taller.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
handsome, perfect people. Sir, there was something there that was round in form and going like 4 times faster than my super jet fighter plane. And I look at these guys, and they really mean it.
Yeah.
And am I a believer? No, I can't say I am. But I have met with people that are serious people that say there's some really strange things that they see flying around out there. And, if you go to Nevada and you look at that little section of where they go to look at the aliens, where they think all the aliens are landing, that, it's I think it's maybe the number one tourist attraction in the United States.
Roswell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roswell. I think it's the number one. It's the lines of people waiting. You have no idea how many times I'm asked that question.
But don't you have access to that information?
I have access, and I speak to people about it. I've had actually meetings on it, and they will tell you there's something going on. When they say things are going
They'll tell
4
you
times
something's going
faster
on.
than my beautiful top-of-the-line airplane that
They
goes
tell you what that is by chance.
With no identifiable propulsion
Mach
system.
2, right?
These things are creating.
Oh, I hope he has a good staff around him. That's a must. But he's going to be doing. Dave Rubin alluded to it. I actually listened to Dave Rubin today. I'm mixing it up. Okay, so if you're watching this show, I don't know. I'd be very interested to know the demographic of the people who are you. I would assume you're probably similar to me. Anyway, so if you want a well-rounded view on the news, I mean, I would love people on the left to really try a few news sources. So as far left as I go, I would say is Megyn Kelly. She's liberal on some stuff. She's good. I really like her on legal stuff, but she kind of changes depending on who she's having on her show. She's very, it's weird. But she's a registered independent, I believe. And you got to think Megyn Kelly is from the Northeast. She's from the elitist. She is an elitist. The way she talks, the way she vacations, that's her life. Okay. Then Dave Rubin, who is a married to a man, libertarian type that used to be far, far more on the left, or at least was a solid Democratic voter, and had his eyes opened to the left. So okay, I listened to him, and then I listened to Tim Pool. Tim Pool he denies that he's a conservative, even though he sounds like one of the most conservative people I've come across, based on his views. And he says he believes in God, but rejects Christianity, but is very complimentary of Christians and the need for it in our society. I listened to Benny Johnson. There's some smaller YouTube channels that I watch, like the Isaac Hayes. Then I also never miss Matt Walsh. So I'm to about as far right, I think, as there is. And a lot of people may not understand what that means. And in Europe, where that concept kind of developed, it was, what kind of totalitarian government did you want? Did you want one that was friendly with commerce? Or would you like one that hates commerce, who wants to take over, the free market? And not make it free. Actually, enslave it. So, right there, what kind of country do we have? Do we think we have a all-powerful government who can spy on us at will, which they can. Let's be honest here. I mean, that's what the bill they just passed allowed, from what I've heard. Not read it myself, so I shouldn't take what I'm saying for. It is our government friendly with big business. Well, they call Facebook and used to call Twitter and probably YouTube, I'm sure it will, and ask them to tweak what the citizens are seeing. So we have a fascist government opposed to a communist government, and that's what most of this is about. It's Marxists trying to overthrow our government and makes the world a Marxist utopia where we all just get by. And power will be everything. Power is a lot now, but it's not everything. You can have a great life without any real power. You go to work, you're smart with your money, you put it, you spend less than you make, you take the extra and you do smart things with it, you can have a really nice life. But anyway, as far as so you definitely could say we have a right-wing country. It's because it's according to Europe, yes, we are fascist, but we're certainly more and more socialist with how much we're funding the rest of the world. So when I say I guess I'm right wing, I guess we can't. That's the thing about labels, I guess, because am I for the government being in business with? Am I for the government being in bed with big business? No, absolutely not. See, I mean, I'm far right as far as the United States goes, or should be. That I want as little federal government power as possible. Just what we need. A strong military. Strong military. Keep us safe. Protect the United States. So that's what I mean. But anyway, so Matt Walsh ideologically is most closest to myself, I would say. So I think I get a pretty wide view, and I kind of became a conservative under Glenn Beck. And then, Glenn Beck's fine, but his Fox News show was really good. But then him on the radio, it was just weird. He would be laughing hysterically, and then 2 minutes later he'd be crying. During the Tea Party movement, there was this woman, Dana Lash, on the local conservative radio station, and I really liked her. And then I don't know, something happened to her. I just stopped listening to that station. Probably that. And then she kind of disappeared. Then she popped up on YouTube, and now she's kind of different. And got into Steven Crowder. I've talked about that on this podcast. I'm not completely done with Steven Crowder, but I don't know, man. He just kind of comes off like a prick. I just like to see him really change. He talks about being a Christian, and I'm not sure if he's really bought in completely. But anyway, back to the point is that Trump doing these, he's going to start doing all these podcasts. I think I don't think he will say no to one podcast that is going to be friendly to him. I don't know if I see him do any, sitting down with the Young Turks. Maybe. He might just not give a shit and actually sit down there. You know what? He probably would. He had no problem saying the debate. Trump could have demanded that the debate be a neutral thing and air it on any channels that wanted to air it, and each person got to pick one moderator, and then maybe even a third moderator that is kind of drawn from a hat or something. I don't know, different ways to do it. But Trump just said, "No, just put me on CNN. I'll say what I'm going to say." He needs to be practicing with a comedian. He really does, and have as many quick one-liners as possible. Because he said in the he said in the Logan Paul interview, how he did in that town hall, how well it went. Well, it's because he didn't answer her questions. He just said what he wanted to say. So that's what he needs to do with this debate, and that's probably what he's going to do. That's kind of that was kind of the why he mentioned it, because that's what they were talking about. They were talking about the debate, and that led to the town hall he had. So I think that's what Trump is just going to say whatever he wants to say. And it's going to be awesome. It's going to be probably the greatest thing ever. I don't have CNN. How can I watch it? Do you think they'll live stream it? Somebody will live stream it, right? I have not. I'll watch it later. It's not that big a deal. Let's see what's going on here.
Because they know we kid, and we can't be sarcastic anymore because they take it, Byron. They take it as the truth. Isn't that terrible? My great warriors over here. They know we're kidding. We can't kid anymore because these people are so dishonest. I said, no, I was just imitating crooked Joe Biden. She said, oh, I see. Well, they didn't say that. They just showed you running into walls. And fourth, I will cancel every unnecessary and costly Biden regulation that is driving...
If you're a new subscriber, so I just jumped up, like... the last video is like did incredibly well. So thank you, any of you who watched it and are now watching this. So... I did 2 videos last weekend. The first one was about Russia moving their ships into Cuba. Kind of alarming, newsworthy, noteworthy, whatever. And then what Biden did on D-Day on stage, maybe. I mean, you know. And I didn't put that even in. I didn't put that in the title. I didn't even really put it on the thumbnail. I said Biden makes mess. I think that they don't want people criticizing Biden. My Trump video the next day blew like the first day it had like 4 views, and I just ignored it. Okay, all right, I pissed off YouTube. Now they're going to punish me for a little while. Not only want to see my videos because I talked about the condition of the commander-in-chief, and like 2 days later, I look at it and it's like, oh, 380. And then, like, oh, that's cool. And the next day it's like 800 something. Now it's like 1,200. So, like, awesome. I've got like several subscribers. So, totally awesome. Let's hear a little bit more Trump.
Passed by Biden are so vicious. And we're going to be talking about that subject at the debate. Will anybody assume that we're going to be...
It's very hard to like clip Trump because he doesn't stop talking. He just weaves where he's going. He barely breathes.
Yeah. So I guess we should probably go ahead and have a little talk.
If our country had any sense, they would put those 2 men on stage. No time limit. And then open the polls. Let them talk America into first 100 million wins. That'd be a good idea. First 100 million wins. Well, you never know where those votes can come from, though, sometimes.
Talking about that subject at the debate. Is anybody going to be watching the debate? You know, they made an offer to me that I couldn't accept. They said, let's offer him Jake Tapper, CNN. We'll go Jake Tapper, CNN, fake Tapper, CNN. Let's have no audience. Let's have both parties sitting down. Let's have just a sealed room with just the 2 of them plus, I guess, a couple of hosts. So that was an offer that nobody would accept. I said, I'll do it, because they assumed I wouldn't. And then when I didn't do it, they could say, well, we offered it to Trump and he rejected, but I accepted it. And I think Jake will be fair. Does everyone think he's going to be fair? Ronnie, no? You don't think so? He may. Let's see. Look, he's got his reputation at stake. Got his reputation.
I don't think
CNN
there's
has
too
their
worried
record.
about that. Donald Trump, folks. He's going for a landslide. You know what I'm going to do? So I'm going to soon on my 100th video. I'm gonna lay this video out. I used to number my episodes, and I just use every space to. No one's gonna watch it because there's a certain number on it, so I don't need a counter on it. I mean, I see it, how many, but so I had an episode where I went and looked at all the third party candidates: Jill Stein, Cornel West, Oliver Chase, I think his name is, from the Libertarian Party, and RFK Jr., which I've covered RFK Jr. extensively. He does fascinate me. And he could be super valuable to a Trump administration. I hope he would get a job there and protect us from these corporations. He could do that. By the way, some of these, go look at these platforms. You go to their websites, check out these platforms. It is crazy. Jill Stein is Green Party, green, the environment. No, she's a full-blown communist. And Cornel West is just not quite as sophisticated. Same mindset. Chase Oliver just is. You can just. I don't hate the man. I don't hate, but read his platform, Chase Oliver. The gay is coming out of the words, okay? Seriously. Whatever. Hey, I like Dave Rubin. I listen to him. I used to like Milo Yiannopoulos, but he went all off the... can I say off the reservation? Because I don't want to say he went far right, because him becoming a racist isn't the umpth degree of rightness to me. He just exposed his racism, apparently. I guess. But then he's hanging out with Kanye, so I don't know what he is. Odd feller. But anyway, I don't have any hate in my heart. Don't cancel me, YouTube, please. We need to figure out what we can agree on. There were many crazy things in their platforms, the four I mentioned. Insane things. Insane that would just destroy our country like this. But there were also many things I agreed upon. And it's okay, if these are far left, communist, and there's things that we can agree on, why aren't those things done? Because there's a lot of things we could, the left and the right, we could accomplish, and we accomplish them for different reasons, but they're still accomplished either way. So I think they want us fighting, right? And then there's issues that we're never going to agree on, but this is the movement. Not far left, not far right, far enough. We've been pushed far enough. So let's figure out what we can agree upon. I didn't really plan to roll this out. I've had this idea for a while, but I don't have any time to really put much time into it. But I'll mention it here on the podcast time to time. And last week, we talked about abolishing the death penalty. I want to do it so they accept Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior and repent for their sins and accept into heaven. Those other candidates, I don't think that's why they want that done. But that's okay. I'm okay with it. The danger is governors and liberal court systems allowing dangerous people back on the streets. When somebody's violent, physically violent, they need to go away permanently. And they just live their life in a prison. I know that's a big expense, but, we could make things a lot better. And the prisons could be more self-sufficient. They could produce energy. Anyway, okay, so here's another one. End cash bail fines fees that disproportionately impact poor and working class people. Fight corporate white-collar crime with resources proportional to economic impact. Okay, I'm not saying I agree with those things per se. I honestly, the end cash bail, I guess so. I mean, it makes sense. Yeah, I mean, rich people can post $80,000 cash bail, and some person in the hood can't. Like, okay, that makes sense. But what I would like to see from that is let's eliminate plea deals. No more plea deals. If you commit a crime, the government can prosecute you for that crime if they so desire. And it's not, well, we'll reduce the charges if you accept that. If they want to get you, they can get you. No more plea deals. There's no consideration. Here's the penalty. That's what you're going to serve. And what is built in, and this would be a state-by-state issue, but the federal government could pass legislation to like end the death penalty and solitary confinement. Okay. Like, I'm not against an evil person having to sit in a box by themselves. But criminal justice. Let's reform this. No more plea deals. You do the crime, you do the time. And then you can perhaps get out early if you do things right. And then when you're in jail, when you're in prison, you can contribute. You can produce electricity. You can get on a little treadmill. Pump away, pump away, pump away. You can get rewards. You can watch TV. But it's not fair. OJ taught us it's about money, not about race. And statistically, it does impact black people more because there are poor in this country. And we can go into that if we really want to, but I don't. There's lots of other videos out there that talk about it. I would recommend Thomas Sowell. Thomas Sowell is a brilliant, brilliant man. I've listened to so many of his books. If I was going to educate a child and have one author, I'd give him the Bible and it had different authors, but all inspired by God. So I'm going to give God the credit. So the Bible's number one. But number two, like any other, you get the whole collection, Thomas Sowell. Thomas Sowell. See, for example, Cornel West is banning the death penalty and life without the possibility of parole and 3 strikes laws and mandatory minimums and sentence enhanced politics. Okay, so sign off on the death penalty. That's where we're going to get our agreement. Life without the possibility of parole, not for savage murderers. Nope. 3 strikes laws. You don't need 3 strikes if you're punishing people for the crimes that they commit. And that means if the government can't just scare people into accepting plea deals, more people will go free. But, if people arm themselves, that would also help prevent crime. 3 strikes laws are not really necessary. Mandatory minimums, absolutely. That's how you have reform, is mandatory minimums. That's exactly, and maybe that's the trade-off for the death penalty. Sentence enhanced politics is nothing, so we don't have to worry about that one. So, all right, folks, I've been blathering on for way too long here. Trump is going to win in a landslide, or this country's going to go off a cliff. So either way, love your family, folks. Love your family. I've been kind of rotten lately, I guess. I've got a number of things going on, very stressed out, and I don't know. I think maybe after tomorrow I'll be able to take a breath and relax a little bit. Because I haven't made time for some of the most important things. That's for sure. We all hope with family, they understand and, accept that we're all human beings. I'm very blessed for the family I have. I mean, they're certainly not perfect, but man, There's some rotten families out there. You know, it's very, very sad. Oh, and I forgot. Trump did. Trump did Dr. Phil. So, anyway, Trump is going to see. We're going to see so much of Trump. He just talks and talks and talks. It's crazy. He says mostly the same thing over and over again, just different forms, and makes jokes and makes fun of people. And folks, let's just go for the ride, okay? Put the energy out there. If you're left wing and you're actually still watching the show, thank you very much. Like, subscribe, follow, share, comment, do all the things. I would love it. But folks, let's just get on board with this. He's a hell of a character. He's not perfect, but let's hope that we don't know who he's going to be. I mean. We don't know who he's going to be running against. I still don't believe it's going to. It does not look like the other fellow is going to make it. I can't imagine that. But what if they get the Senate, or keep the Senate, increase on the Senate? What if they get the House? Nothing gets done. A lame dunk president from day one. It's possible. I mean, he'll get impeached again. They probably won't have. They won't have the votes to remove him from office, but they ultimately could. I mean, I wonder if they could, like, if he picks Rubio, they could force him out. I don't know. That's crazy. Come on, people. Can't we just get along? Thank you. Have a great weekend, folks. I'll see you later. Bye.
Boy, do I hate being right all the time.
This is your life, and it's ending 1 minute at a time.
This war stops now.
End the war. Bring freedom to our people.
No. No more tricks. No more lies. Only truth.
This is where we hold them! This is where we fight!